tried out a new PTU, coil pack. We had no luck. I pulled the ECU. It looks fine to me. I'm open to suggestions at this point. We're kind of running out of possibilities or things that could be wrong with it. Timing, maybe it did skip a tooth. This thing is filthy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another 3000 GT video. If you guys saw the last episode, we were trying to get this thing running back to 100%. We went ahead and switched out the master flow sensor. That didn't work. We then tried to install all 4 O2 sensors because the rear one was missing. The car got a little bit better, and what I've noticed is that it tends to sputter from 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. Right now, what I'm kind of leaning towards too is the PTU, also known as the power transistor unit or the coil pack. There is a local 3000 GT VR4 owner that's going to be letting me test his out as he is going with a coil on plug setup and see if that's the actual cause of the car acting like this. I mean, I kind of want to have this car 100% before we do any other sort of modification. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'm always open to hear them. And of course, this helps anyone else that's kind of looking into fixing their 3000 GT years or in the future from now. So it's a community type of effort here thing. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to document my process of elimination, and of course, hopefully my solution helps out a bunch of you guys as well if you guys ever come across this issue. So we got Anthony here with the PTU and coil pack. So I'm assuming this is the power transistor unit?
Yes, this is basically what gets the signal from the ECU and fires whatever specific coil it's supposed to do. Now obviously the 3000 GT is a waste spark system, so it fires 2 cylinders at the same time.
Gotcha.
Usually when you're good at low load, low RPM, it's usually a sign that your ignition is faltering in some way or another. Sometimes it's bad spark plugs. Okay. Sometimes it's a bad coil pack. Okay. This thing is known to go bad on these cars.
Right.
So when it goes bad, it could just be that it just completely doesn't work.
Okay.
Or one bank of cylinder or one.
It might be just one of these that's bad.
Fires.
Right.
And suddenly, if you've got 2 out of your 6 cylinders not firing,
gotcha,
it's kind of sound like a Subaru. To pull this out, there's a bolt here, another one here. There's some stuff in the way.
Gotcha.
So this one might be easier for you to try
just
first.
To try out and test drive it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
but definitely you got to bolt it down because there's a bracket that acts as a heat sink for it.
Got it. That's what this is for, right?
Yeah, so you want that sitting right on the bracket to act as a heat sink.
Okay. If it still sputters, then change up the coil pack.
You could try this, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Anthony for the power transistor unit and the coil pack off his VR4. He did go with a coil on plug setup, and I think he's going standalone.
Successfully paired.
Move the car more towards the shade. Got all the tools ready. We have the coil pack and power transistor unit, and here we have the engine base. Okay, so the spark plug wires are hooked up to the coil pack, which is right here, and the PTU is right below that, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. Let me figure this out. I'll get back to you guys and I'll tell you guys how to remove that PTU. It's not too difficult. All you have to do is pretty much, I just went ahead and disconnected all the wires just to give me some space on the with the coil pack. I disconnected this part of the intake piping, as you guys can see right here, and I took off the radiator hose, which I'm not sure if that releases air into the system. You guys let me know, but not too much coolant came out. This gave me all the room I needed to put a long enough screwdriver to take off the 2 screws holding in the PTU. There's also 2 connectors that are hooked up to it. Just be really careful. It's super tight in there. You would want to make sure you don't want to drop anything, especially this little pin that's holding up one of the connectors. So let's plug in this other PTU, put everything back together, take this thing on a test drive, and see if it was the PTU that was causing the issues all this time. Okay, that's in. Yeah, that's the one thing I have a major complaint about this car is the amount of space that you have. It's just everything's so crammed together. It just makes it really difficult to work on. And of course, if you drop something, good luck, because it's gone forever. Just take your time, because then that happens. Is it me, or is it easier to take things off and it's a lot harder to put them back on? Okay, yes, one is on there. All I used was this, I don't know what you call this, but you add this extension on there, and then I extended it by getting this piece on there. It's just a longer screwdriver. There you go, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, I can see this job going south real quick if you drop stuff in there, but make sure all the plugs are connected all the way in. Plug this plug back into the coil pack. And another quick tip, I completely forgot how these wires went back on, so make sure you take a picture beforehand. I'm gonna have to look them up. And then from there we'll hook up this, and we should be good. All right, she's pretty much ready to get fired up. I'm gonna go ahead and put it over here, wash it real quick because this thing is filthy. It started raining down here in SoCal, so it kind of got super wet. And kind of want to make sure it looks at least somewhat decent. If it still runs a little bit iffy, we're gonna have to come back, take everything back off, and swap out those coil packs. Done. Also, quick question for my detail guys, are you able to wax and buff your wrap? Because it does have some imperfections on the wrap because it just sits in the sun all day. But if you guys can actually wax this thing, there's a lot of swirls. I don't know if you can see it through the video, but I just want to make sure the paint is up to spec. Maybe ceramic coat it. You guys let me know. Misfiring through the RPM range. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's actually boosting quite well, but I'm not too sure if that's the I don't know if the PTU did anything for it. Nope. Definitely misfiring in the RPM ranges. You guys could have heard that. Push it anymore. For all my guys that film and stuff like this, if you don't know what this is, it's basically a DJI Ronin M gimbal. I got it for $100 used. So these used to be like $1,000. These are pretty much one of the best gimbals you can get for automotive. They're dual grip. It's kind of old, as you guys can see the handles. They're known for having defective batteries, so all I did was contact DJI and they sent me a replacement for free because it's a very common issue for these to give out. So the guy was selling it because he couldn't get it working. I got it pretty cheap. So let's roll some cinematics of the car. It's been a minute. I do want to try it with a gimbal, and you guys let me know what you guys think of the footage. So I'll see how that footage came out later, but a gimbal does help stabilize the footage a lot more, especially if you're moving around. I do prefer to shoot cinematics handheld just because I'm just able to become more mobile, if that makes sense. So carrying around a gimbal like that takes up a lot of space and a lot of effort. But let's head back home, let this thing cool down a bit, and then we'll go ahead and start taking apart the OEM coil pack. So, quite the long bolt. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. It burns. Okay. I just found out there's an additional 10 right below the coil pack. Oh, there goes that bolt. Can you guys see this? I basically stripped it, so just be careful. Here we have the OEM coil pack that we're going to be swapping over to this one. So let me go ahead and put everything back in reverse order, and then we go test drive this thing. Okay, so swap out the coil pack. Test drive number 2. This car is stressing me out. Why don't you want to get fixed? Why? What is going on? Bro, let's take this thing back home. My next guess is timing. Maybe I skipped a tooth, like some of you guys said in the previous comment section. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, but nothing's working right now. So yeah, so to take off the ECU, you have to remove both panels on the side here, and you should have a 10mm bolt on this side and then two 10mm bolts on that side. You can plug it from the harness and it should come straight out. All right, so I took off the panel. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a 10 right here, and there is a 10 up here. I know you guys can't really see it. There's two 10mm that are holding the ECU back here behind the radio, and there's one more 10 on the other side you're gonna have to take off. Okay, so here I have the ECU. It looks like it's been touched already. I'm not sure if this is the 98 reflashable one, but let's open it up real quick, see what's inside. Everyone says to check for leaking capacitors, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's check this thing out. Hold up. Alright, check it out. You guys let me know. I don't really see anything that's leaking. I'm assuming these are the capacitors that tend to leak on them. The ECU looks pretty healthy to me though. What do you guys think? Check it out. Okay, so pretty much spent all morning and afternoon trying to, fix this thing, but we tried out a new PTU coil pack. We had no luck. I pulled the ECU. It looks fine to me. I'm gonna hit up a couple local 3000GT guys and see what they say, but I'm open to suggestions at this point. We're kind of running out of possibilities or things that could be wrong with it. Timing, maybe it did skip a tooth. I don't know, but it's getting pretty annoying. I'm getting pretty stressed out because at this point it's like when you can't figure something out, you don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm sure we'll get through this eventually. It's just a matter of figuring it out. But it comes down to this, you don't always win. So here's an update video. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the coil pack, go take it back to Anthony, and I'll figure it out in the next video. I don't know. We'll keep you guys updated. We took an L today, but I'll see you on the next one.